Welcome to the Fantasy Football Press Box with your hosts, Scott Fitzgerald and Sean Clemens.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Press Box, Super Bowl edition. That's right, everybody. The Pats went home empty-handed. How happy are we, right? I'm here with my good buddy Scott, as always, my co-host, and we have a special guest today, one half of the League Champ crew, Addi from League Champ. How are you today, my friend?
I gotta say, I haven't seen the costume change on the intro of the videos. I normally skip straight to the content. That got me. I had the giggles that whole time. That was fantastic. I love that. I'm doing great today. Doing better than I was last night. That was a stinker of a Super Bowl game. Tweeted out there, Caleb wouldn't have been shut out. Totally stand by that. We saw Drake May turn into Mitch Trubisky before our eyes, so that was a little interesting. But as they mentioned, head of League Champ here, one of the two guys, one pod, not to be mistaken for two girls, one cup. And we are
Please don't mistake it for two girls, one cup. That is very important. Do not mistake it with two girls, one cup. That is a huge mistake you will regret.
Yeah, and we got a draft going. You know, I'm hoping it gets my pick. I want to be the guy that gets Caleb in all these leagues, but we'll see.
I mean, I think there's a possibility you could get Caleb. I don't see any reason why not. He's not going before you get to pick. That's for sure, right? He's not. What do you think Caleb's going to go, like third roundish? You know, that's kind of
in a super flex. You think Caleb's going third round in Superflex? That's crazy, man. I've been running mocks all offseason. ADP wise, he's going first or second.
So since you bring this up, right, let's go ahead and jump on into this, right? We've got some drafts going, as Addi mentioned today, guys. We got a great show for you guys. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And since you're here and you're liking and subscribing, make sure that you also like and subscribe to Two Guys, One Pod. That is definitely something you're going to want to do. But regardless of all that, right now we're here to talk draft, and we have some drafts going on. We kicked off our first round of our best ball $1,000 basketball bonus bracket leagues. That's right. I said that all without screwing it up the first time. These leagues are going to be a lot of fun, guys. There's going to be a lot of them, and we are going to go over at least the first four that are currently drafting right now, including our big league, which we like to call is basically the VIP kind of group guys, right? Yeah, Addi's in that league with Chev, myself, Scott, a few of the other people that we're working with, including Armin from FanCred and Dan and Rocky over at DGen Boys, DGen Fantasy. So it's good. It's a good league. You know, we just kicked off that one. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up our draft board so you guys can see where that one's at. As I said, just kicked off. We are waiting on Double Down Dan currently to jump in and make his pick. We got Josh Allen off the board as the first pick in this one. And you know what? Spoiler alert, guys, we're going to jump to another couple drafts here in a few minutes, but Josh Allen is not the 1.1 in every one of these leagues. Do you think that is like the right move? Do you think it's the wrong move? I know you just said, Addi, you super flex, man, you're quarterback guy. So do you still take JA 1.1?
You know, I personally don't. I was liking Drake May. I'm a little bit worried after that Super Bowl performance, as anyone should be, because we got to see what he looked like off schedule, and it wasn't great because I've seen Josh Allen off schedule. It looks a lot better than that. Personally, I think that the 1.1 is like a pretty open ground. I wouldn't feel bad about taking Bijan Robinson there. I wouldn't feel bad about taking Puka Nacua or Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow feels a little bit high, but like Lamar Jackson, same boat. I think any of those guys is a safe pick at 101. And this is kind of the first time I felt that way in about 10 seasons. Like Josh Allen has been the consensus guy there, but you guys don't have wide receiver depth. Like what is there to root for with Keon Coleman, Josh Palmer, and the ghost of Brandon Cooks?
Well, I mean, hopefully we still have the ghost of Brandon Cooks on the roster next season. That's not even a guarantee yet at this point. And he was the best we had, man. So, like, I'm 100% with you on that one. Dalton Kincaid is really, like, his best target at this point in time. And you never want your tight end to be your best target. I just don't think that bodes well for your offense in general. So that, to me, is something that you definitely want to make a a solid move this offseason to fix, but I think they will. Everything they did, I really think they're going to make a push to get that wide receiver. And, one of the guys is probably going to go in the end of this first round, if not early in the second round, and Justin Jefferson. That would be one of my top targets if I was them. I think that him in a little disgruntled
wish casting
there. It's very wishful thinking. Yes, I agree. It would be a fun one, though. Scotty, I feel like I haven't even let you say anything yet, bro. What do you think Double Down's going to do here with this second pick? You think he's taking QB, or you think he's going to go positional player first off the board?
I mean, you can go in a bunch of different directions here. I like Josh Allen as the 101. I think to me, you don't overthink it. You just put him on the board and sleep like a baby. He gives you the rushing floor that you're going to want. He's in his prime. He's come off, a terrible postseason where they didn't make it to the Super Bowl. So he's going to be all fired up and charged up next year. And I see, I don't know how much better of a year you can get, but I don't see him slipping at all. So Josh Allen 101 for me. As far as number 2, I kind of go with Addy. I mean, I could do a Bijan Robinson. I mean, the running back landscape is pretty shallow, so you can lock up your, RB1 right there, who's a true workhorse, and, lock him in as your, if you want to do a hero RB build, or you could go with the number 1 receiver that I like, and that would be Puka Nacua. So he's getting Matt Stafford back next year. Looks like one more year for him. They were a little short of making the Super Bowl this year. So the only thing that worries me a little bit with Puka is the injury concerns, but you can't predict injuries in this game. So if I was on the clock right now with Double Down Dan, I know he's probably not listening to us right now, but I would go up there and put the sticker on the board that says one Bijan Robinson X Texas great.
I'm with you on that one. I do like Bijan as my second overall pick. If you take Josh Allen as your 1 pick, I honestly don't mind taking Bijan as the 1 if you really want to, because right now the way running back depth looks and the way best balls are kind of playing out, I don't mind sticking with a position player in my first round and waiting on the quarterback, because it feels like even in these drafts right now, which we're going to pull up another one here in just a second, that is kind of proving my point. These drafts right now we're getting into, they're showing a lot of like people waiting on quarterbacks, I feel like. And I'm going to pull up another one for you guys that you're going to see on this league. I think this is going to be our Alpha 4 league. And then this league right here, this one kicked off earlier in the day, so it's got a little bit more people in it already that have made some moves. And as you can tell in this league, Josh went first overall. This one, Bijan went 2 overall, just like you talked about, Scott. But look at the way the quarterbacks are dropping. So, Addy, just like you mentioned earlier, man, does this, with this board looking this way, right? And your picks coming up, like you talked about, I'm pretty sure before this, you were pretty dead set on a quarterback. Now you see the way the board falls. Do you change your opinion a little bit on that?
Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting board.
Yeah, right? You have to, don't you?
I mean, that's Ashton Jeanty at 110 feels hopeful to me. I don't hate that, but I find it to be a little odd. Like Justin Jefferson at 111 and Jeanty at 110 both feel like projecting ceiling. And like the biggest thing I've been trying to do more of when I'm actually in a draft is actually going for safer players early on. You want ceiling on a team, especially from a best ball team. I do a bunch of my shows with Scott Malatest. He won the Chow Chow Championship for Underdog like 2 years ago. Puts in about like 10K to Underdog drafting every year. And I've tried to learn a little bit about what his strategy is early on. He is constantly going for proven production, because the big thing you can do early in a best ball draft is lose. Like, you won't oftentimes get a huge advantage. Like, you'll get the Puka and JSN season some of the time, but most of the time you'll get Jamar Chase this year, where he didn't hurt your team, but he didn't win you a ton of weeks. He won you the weeks you were expecting him to win, and he had a couple stinkers in between there and managed to make it work. I don't really love taking a Jefferson this early, because I just made that mistake last year. And if I didn't take Justin Jefferson and took more Puka Nacua and JSN, I would have been in a lot of best ball finals. But instead, I stuck to my priors and really stuck with it. Like, this feels like a draft board where you can really exploit value because CMC, for example, going after Devon Achan, who does not have a proven play caller, does not have a proven offense, doesn't even have a quarterback, and will likely have backfield competition, going before CMC feels like the silliest thing you could do in a best ball league.
I'm with you, man. I think
Tell me
that
how you guys feel about that. Sorry,
No,
I
I'm
just
with
gave
you.
you a full soliloquy there.
I love it though. I mean, I should let Scott go first because I'm occupying too much of the mic right now. Scotty, man, what do you got to say about that? Do you agree with what Addie's talking about? How this kind of changes his perspective a bit when it comes to quarterback early drafting?
Weird.
I mean, you have to know the tendencies of the people that you're drafting with, and I know some names in here, and Sean, and everybody knows I'm a quarterback whisperer, so I like always going quarterback early in the super flex, but I know that from past experiences that the quarterbacks with these players tend to drop, so I know I can wait. I took JSN at 106. And the reason why I did that was I feel everyone after him, there's a question mark. Drake May, is he going to have another good year like that with a harder schedule going into next year? He's going to have a Super Bowl schedule next year. Trey McBride, no quarterback. A Chan, new, coaching staff. Genty, new coaching staff. The problems with Jefferson. Burrow, Jackson, injury concerns. I mean, I'm on Ross pretty safe, but that's too early. And then I agree, Christian McCaffrey should have went in the first round for sure. But that's why I decided to take JSN because he's coming off of 200-yard seasons. Sam Darnold's going to be the quarterback next year. Everything's going to stay the same. Obviously, they just came off a Super Bowl, so and he's basically a target hog. But for me, it would have been either JSN or I probably, if you would have pulled the trigger on JSN, I probably would have went quarterback at that point because I still have a little bit of concerns with Gibbs sharing the backfield. Even though he puts up monster numbers, I'm greedy. I want the backfield to myself. So I want a guy that has the whole backfield to himself.
I mean, you want to talk a little bit of back and forth on that Gibbs and JSN. We can do that because that's pretty much the two players that I think are back to back right there, the 5 and 6, and whether they're 5 and 6 or 7 and 8 or wherever position player wise, I feel like those two are kind of like the back to back players at all times. So for me, I went Gibbs because of the running back depth. Like we talked about earlier, it wasn't based on much else than that because I do think they both bring the same amount of value to your team. But man, Scotty, if I didn't go Gibbs and I went JSN, would you have gone with Gibbs then with what you just said, or would you have gone to a completely different direction like a Drake May?
No, I would have taken Drake May. I would have just went the quarterback at that point. I think that I'm able to get, if I wanted at that point, I would just
That's crazy.
The way I draft, quarterbacks, receivers. I mean, the only way I'm going to take a running back is if it's like a Bijan. If I have an early pick and I have a chance to get Bijan, I'll take him. Or possibly if I'm at the end like that and I have a proven first round pick and I was to get like a CMC coming back, even though he's older, he did have a pretty monster year. And, I would just be banking that he stays healthy. But no, I'm a quarterback guy, man. It's just such a huge advantage when these guys have 30-point upsides every single week and they touch the ball the most. So, I'd go quarterback unless, like I said, if Bijan was there. I really wanted Puka. I was hoping Puka would drop to me at 106 because I didn't realize if people were going to go quarterback super early. So I was really targeting Puka at the 106. And then when he wasn't there, I said, you know what? I have Chase, Nakua, and JSN all in one tier as far as receivers. And then so I thought it was an easy choice.
Hey, riddle me this, Scott. So we've heard a little bit of rumors about Dave Montgomery potentially wanting out of the Lions, and I'm not sure how realistic I think those are. We'll see what actually happens, but when you're trying to free up cap space, a pretty well-paid backup running back's pretty high on that list of cut candidates. How high do you take Gibbs if he does happen to be the only guy in there, or if they replace Dave Montgomery with, say, Tyler Algier level talent?
He goes right after Bijan.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. I kind of
Right
agree.
after Bijan. Yep, right after
Yeah, I'm
Bijan.
with him. I'm with you on that.
I think now my take on Gibbs this coming year in 2026, and obviously I live in Michigan half the year, so I hear a lot of rumblings and stuff like that. To me, I think that the Super Bowl window is starting to close, and they need to take advantage of his youthful years. So I think this year, if Dan Campbell doesn't unleash him, it'd be a huge mistake. Like a huge mistake. They need to unleash Jahmyr Gibbs and turn him into Jamal Charles, where he just goes crazy and just has a monster.
Jamal Charles. What a fantasy gem Jamal Charles was, wasn't he? Man.
Well, that's why I bring up Jamal Charles, because it reminds me of Jamal Charles. Just a slasher.
He plays like him.
Slasher.
Yeah.
Can catch the ball. Just can explode and take the house anytime he touches the ball.
So, Scotty, while you were chatting there, we had a couple of picks come off the board that, I mean, they surprised me, right? So you talked about Christian McCaffrey, Addy. The next pick, Thrill Kill at 108, had taken Trey McBride as his tight end. Now, this is tight end premium, 0.5, so half a point tight end premium leagues. So I can understand taking an early tight end. I get it. But he came back around at 2.5 and then took Brock Bowers, the second tight end, off the board. I mean, I understand it, right? But that's a little intense right there, going after the two top tight ends in your top two picks. Do you feel like there's a way that strategy pans out for him? Or what do you think of that just in general there, Addy? It looks like you're not too pleased by it. You got that constipated look on your face.
Yeah, that pick gives me the stress farts, as they say on the footballers. But, dude, I see this every year. You always have this guy in your home league, the person that hits you with I'm taking the 2 QBs early, and I'm going to figure out a way to make this roster work for me. Like, I just don't see it. Like, I think you're giving up so much value at that second pick. Like, you want to take a 4th round tight end, sure. Maybe you can make that roster work. Maybe it ends up playing out the way you want it to. And I'm not even saying that's bad value. Brock Bowers at 2.5, I take him there 10 days out of the week and twice on Sunday. But, that doesn't mean that it's a good pick if you have Trey McBride. CeeDee Lamb was still sitting on the board. Jalen Hurts was still sitting on the board. Those were the two guys I was looking at aside from Caleb and Jaden Daniels. I don't see how you justify that pick, because if you're coming back around and the best quarterback on the board is Dak Prescott, that's awesome. Dak's good at football, but that's scary. That's your QB1. He's 32 years old. He's playing great still, but when's that drop-off going to hit? That puts you in such a dangerous position where the rest of your draft has to be kind of flawless for that strategy to work out. I don't know. It scares me.
Exactly. And you cannot have any kind of an injury issue to your top 4 players then at that point. You basically leave out any opportunity to cover your butt with injury by drafting your 2 tight ends early and leaving yourself with the depth that you're going to end up with at the other 2 positions that are running back, receiver, right? So I definitely agree with you, man. I think it's a tough approach. If you do it right, it can win you gold, but it's not easy to do. And a lot of times injuries, you do it perfect, screw you.
What up, Shadows? Shadows in the chat. He's our insider there.
That's right. Yeah, Shadows brings up, and if you want to play any of the guess the player with us today, Shadow, we'd be down for that, because I think Addy will make Scott a little bit more angry than even last time he couldn't get. So I don't know if you remember this, Addy. I think we talked about this a little bit. We were prepping that he has this game that he likes to play where he throws out where they played at in college and through their career. And we got to guess who it is, right? So if he does that and throws us a few of those and you can guess before Scott, then I'm going to be pretty stoked.
Scott got if wisdom actually does help Scott there. See how many players I
don't know, man. There was somebody dead in his wheelhouse last year. I think the guy's almost the exact same age as him even. And he just did not get it. And it bothered him pretty bad. I think he actually went to bed in cold sweats over it.
Well, you're on the clock.
Shadow threw in the.
Scott says, "Well, you're on the clock. All right, just shut your mouth and make your pick."
And go pick.
Yep, Shadow threw out the Deshaun Watson last two suits got thrown out. Always uncomfortable to talk about Deshaun Watson. He's probably uncomfortable himself, but what are the odds he's actually the Browns starting quarterback for the vast majority of this season? Because I think it's higher than 30%.
Really?
I mean, who else are they going to put in, right? The couple of like late round drafted rookies that both prove that they're really not going to be like a superstar quarterback or anything. And they got a brand new coach who's not going to have the time to sit there and like figure that part out. So they're paying the guy. The owner probably wants to see him play since he's paid him so dang much. So my guess is that he probably starts the season for them, and they'll probably still draft somebody this year. I think whether it's early or not, who knows, but they'll take somebody. And they'll bring in, that guy to compete. But we'll all know exactly what's going to happen is that Deshaun's going to start the season without somebody just blowing everybody away.
Do they really want that media disaster, though? I mean, that would just be a complete – that's what you don't want that for the Browns. You're, like, trying to rebuild and why do you want that in your locker room? That's what I just don't get.
I don't either, but, hey, you know what? It's what they've been paying him. I think the owner is pretty much like, I paid this guy so much money that, we're going to at least get him on the field. It seems like things are blown over enough, right? Which is always something that drives me insane.
All right, there you go, Addy.
Oh, here it is. Are you ready for this, Addy? Let's pull it up here. We got Michigan State from 04 to 08, Patriots from 2009 to 2011, 2012 with the Steelers and Cardinals. So he must have got traded or cut and picked up mid-season. Browns from 2013, 2014, Texans 15, Bears 16. Bears in 2016. Niners in 2017, Patriots 17, 18, and Colts in 19.
That is so
okay.
cool.
He ends his career with the Colts. He's a QB. Okay,
He's a QB, yeah.
That helps.
And I think he actually ended his career with the Raiders. I think this is a continuation of the same
He ended
Patriots and Raiders.
Yeah.
So he went to the Patriots and then finished up with the Raiders in 2023. He's a quarterback.
I know who he's talking about. I totally.
Is it Minshew?
It's not. No. It's Is this Hoyer?
Oh, that sounds like
God,
you're right. I think you're right.
It is Hoyer.
Yeah, I got it. It's Hoyer. Let's go. Let's go.
That's Chev who's hyping you up right there. Look, your boy's giving you the help you needed. Look at that. See?
I was there before Chev. Don't give Chev credit for that one.
Good job, Shadows. That was awesome, bro. Keep throwing more at us if you got them. We love those.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm going to do, guys, since I'm sitting here on the clock right now, I've been looking back and forth at this, and I've been kind of bouncing between a couple of players. And I'm thinking that I'm going to go ahead and make the move right here at this point in time. And I'm going to take my man coming back off injury, who's going to have a great, great season, in Jaden Daniels.
Love that pick. That feels so smart. Tell us why you're taking him over the the four guys that are right over there. Pat Mahomes, Caleb Williams, Malik Neighbors, and Justin Herbert. Because I think I know the answer for two of them.
So the Malik Neighbors was the number one, like, back and forth I was thinking, and that was mainly just, do I stick with non-position or with a position player and a non-quarterback, or go ahead and just take the quarterback at this point? And so that was kind of my main back and forth, right? Because in my mind, already I had made up my mind I was not going to take Mahomes or Williams over Daniels. The reason I say that is because I think that Jaden Daniels has that running factor that neither of them really bring to the table. Like, Caleb can run, but he doesn't like run like Jaden does. So, I think Jaden is kind of that. He has that like dual threat, almost Lamar-like dual threat, where Caleb is only going to do it if he absolutely has to. So it's just kind of more of I take that over it. But I do think if I was to go with a different guy, Caleb would be the guy over Patrick. Because as much as I like Patrick's offense, again, Caleb has more mobility. And I think the deep passing is part of Ben Johnson's MO a little bit more. And that, to me, is where you can generate a lot more fantasy points quickly with quarterbacks, is deep touchdown passes and those plays that him and Josh make that just kind of turn into long touchdowns when they were basically a broken play for almost anybody else. So that's the only one that I would think. Patrick was behind those two, Caleb, and then Malik obviously was my back and forth.
Yeah, and the reason why I took Jalen Hurts over Jaden Daniels, because it was up to those two. And there's one particular statistic that sticks out like a sore thumb if you really look deep into it. In the last 5 seasons, Jalen Hurts has 60 touchdowns, and that's not passing, that's rushing. 60 rushing touchdowns in 5 years. And that's just a massive number. The offense doesn't change. Barkley's obviously another year older, and that offense runs through Jalen Hurts. That's what makes them go. So yeah, I've always been a Jalen Hurts fan, and I know a lot of analysts don't really call him an elite guy, but I do for sure. Big Jalen Hurts fan.
No, I think you're overdraft him just because of his tush push rushing touchdown, differential that is not going to be the same anymore. But hey, that's just me. I'm happy with you letting Jaden fall.
They'll always find a way to get him in the end zone.
I'm happy with you letting Jaden fall to me. I'm totally fine with that. I appreciate it very much. Let's go ahead and talk about this. I'm going to pull up one more league for us to talk about while we figure out who this is. You got Washington from 84 to 87, the Colts from 88 to 89. The Bucks from 90 to 91, Cardinals 91 to 93, Rams 94, Oilers 95 through 96, Falcons 97 and 01. Well, actually through 01, I should say. Bears 02 and 03, and then the Rams 04 to finish things out. Who is the player? Dun, dun, dun. And I think Washington would be the Huskies, I'm assuming, and the Colts would be the first NFL team. And if I'm wrong on that, Shadows, please clarify. It is another quarterback, he said, and he has been in the 97 and 98 Pro Bowl. Is it Jim Harbaugh?
That's an interesting one. It totally could be Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh I don't think he never played for the
He didn't make a Pro Bowl.
Washington was his college, and he didn't play at Washington, right? Wasn't he Michigan?
No, he said Michigan.
Yeah.
Did Mark Brunell ever play for the Bears? I don't think he
was
did.
It Drew Lock? Really, I don't even know if he was a Husky or not. I think he was, though. I'm not a great college guy, if you guys hadn't noticed already from the episode after episode of me not knowing anything about college stuff. So it's not Harbaugh. So yeah, we're wrong there. I'm wrong, I should say, not we. I'll take the heat. But I'm going to pull up that other league while you guys contemplate this difficult one and see who comes up with the first answer.
What other league you going to? Which other league you going to?
There was one that I wanted to pull up that I was actually on the clock, so we would discuss my pick, and I believe it is Alpha 6 League. So,
Alpha 6. Sorry.
Here we go, Alpha 6 League. So we're sitting here again. I took JSN at the 1-9, which the fact that JSN was still there at the 1-9 to me was a no-brainer almost. I didn't even want to take a receiver, but I felt obligated at that point. So I took JSN, Achan, Jackson, Hurts, Jefferson, Bowers, McCaffrey with the next 6 picks. I am back on the clock. I really don't like that McCaffrey went right in front of me. That really that was a good pick by you, Thrill Kill, for getting back at me. I mean, he must have made that pick after we talked bad about his back-to-back tight ends in the other league, and he was like, you know what? I'm going to get you now. And this went and took my running back. So I guess at this point, there's 2 guys that are staring me in the face right now that I feel like I have to take one of the 2. And it depends on which one of the 2 I want. And I might be in the minority by going first with this guy right here, Mr. CD Lamb. So I have to do that on my phone, obviously, because I'm not logged in on my phone or on there. But that's my guy, CD Lamb. What do you think of that pick at this point? Do you take Amon-Ra over CD? Because it was
in my opinion, with George Pickens still being there, I think I would go with Amon-Ra at that point.
Who says George Pickens still going to be there, though?
They're going to franchise tag. They're going to franchise tag him.
They already franchise tagged him. Yeah.
Oh, they did franchise tag George Pickens already? I didn't even know that. Let me go back and change my pick. No, I'm just kidding. I'm still sticking with CD. But yeah, I guess
interesting.
So yeah, I mean I felt obligated to go with another receiver, which I really wasn't too happy with. But it's between Amon and CD, and then like I said, man, I have more confidence that Dak is going to be throwing the ball deep to CD, and Amon-Ra to me he's a great player, but he's on a team that I'm worried about is like on the downswing not the upswing. So Scotty hates to hear that too, huh?
No, well, I mean, not really. They are on the downswing, but he's a tremendous player. He's one of them target hogs, and I mean he's just a target funnel. I mean, this Goff just constantly goes to him all the time. So, and he's never gets hurt. He plays hurt where CD gets banged up a little bit. So, and then he's got to deal with Pickens. So,
C Chev says they can't franchise tag him yet. So you guys are lying to me. You guys are liars.
They came out and said they were gonna, but riddle me this. So you guys are talking about
it's Chris Chandler. You guys totally didn't even get that one, did you?
I think somebody said Chandler, didn't they?
Yeah,
Chev did.
Oh yeah,
Chev
did. Look at Chev in here. See, Chev's not even in the show. Chev, so everybody knows Chev was supposed to be here today, but he had a family emergency, so he's not able to be here. Which we appreciate you being in the audience at minimum, buddy. And that he got it right. Look at that. And I had a feeling that Chev would be the kind of guy who would kick butt at this game. I really did. So yeah. He's the most. I know, right? I knew I was going to for that. I was just waiting to see who be the first.
See, but like we've seen Amon-Ra in 2 regimes under Dan Campbell actually fully hit his ceiling. Are we not worried a little bit that JMO's finally going to cut into that just a bit? Like, Chev was the one talking me into JMO last year. I saw a little bit from him. Like, towards the end of the year, they really started using him as a more focal point of the offense. Like, if you're looking at who the more talented player is from a physicality standpoint, it's got to be Jameson Williams. He's faster. He's bigger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree 100% with that take. He's definitely a more talented receiver, but in my opinion, Amon-Ra out of the slot, first down plays. I mean, Goff looks for Amon-Ra. I mean, and it obviously
Goff, I don't think is going to be that great anymore. I think Goff peaked. He's like Bridgerton. He peaked and now it's on the way down. It's I just don't see that.
JMO's more of the. I mean, and let you let me know what you think, but I think JMO's more of the deep threat in that offense, the gadget guy, reverses and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't think he'll overtake Amon-Ra with target share.
He says to ask you about the lure on JMO versus DK.
Yeah. Me and Chev had a bet last year. I felt real great about it in the first 6 weeks when DK was blowing JMO out of the water because they're both inconsistent as all hell. But we had a little DK versus JMO bet, and he ended up on top by a bit. Let's be very clear here. DK Metcalf, without that suspension, might pass up JMO in the rankings. So we can't be real confident there. DK does look bad whenever he has to do a football thing, but when he has the ball in his hands, he sure does look good. I kind of feel the same about JMO, but that it's one of those ones where it's like you are rooting for the wide receiver 2 on an offense. I want JMO to be the wide receiver 1 on an offense. I was kind of bummed when he signed with Detroit long-term because it's like, oh man, like it is hard to ever believe that he's going to pass Amon-Ra formally. Like he's going to be that one. Like Goff is always going to look at Amon-Ra first.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Amon-Ra's not at that age yet where he's ready to be passed anyways. So like Goff and him will be in their little buddy for next 5 years or so. And, by the time that JMO's ready to kind of take that mantle, he'll be getting to the point where he's starting to pass his prime. So he's going to be stuck kind of in that second fiddle for a while, I feel like. But did you see? So he's asking this question, Shadows, is about and I did hear him ask these guys this. He said that where does he think Mike Evans will go realistically? I know, Scott, that's your boy, Mike Evans. So they're saying Buffalo at the DGen. I think Buffalo is an option. I don't know if Buffalo is really going to go after Mike Evans. I think they probably want like a younger guy that they can keep for the next like 5 or 6 years, not somebody who's going to be maybe a 1 or 2 year guy, at least not as their number 1 target. Like they might get Mike Evans and somebody else. Like that would be ideal, but that I don't know if they have the cap space for that without a lot of restructuring. But Mike Evans to Buffalo, I just don't know if that's the target they're going to go for. Not that it wouldn't be a great choice. I just don't think it's the target. Do you have any thoughts on that, Mike Evans, Addy, before we let the Mike Evans stan over here talk about him?
I mean, apparently there are 2 Mike Evans stands in the room because I love Mike Evans. He's such a fun player. I would love to see him in Buffalo.
Yeah.
When have we seen Josh Allen with a proper wide receiver 1 alpha? A guy who can catch the ball in the end zone over people? Like, the best we got is Keon Coleman trying to box people out at 10 miles an hour. Like, I would love to see Mike Evans in a Buffalo uniform. I'm surprised you don't want to.
I don't. It's not that I don't want it. I just don't think it's like extremely realistic. You know, I don't think they'll really go after him. It would be for him. It would be like, hey, we picked up like I don't know, BTJ on a trade, right, or MHJ on a trade, and then we brought in Mike Evans to be on the other side, and then you got Evans and BTJ or MHJ and Kincaid, and now all of a sudden, and Cook, and now all of a sudden Buffalo's offense is going to be a terror. So that would be like, like I think that I would have to like avoid going towards the white light because I'd feel like I'm probably having like experience if that happened. But that's the only way I think that Mike Evans becomes a realistic target for Buffalo.
I mean, I got a couple teams that are kind of sneaky, and let me know what you think about these 2 teams. But one was just in the Super Bowl. I mean, what about the New England Patriots? I mean, they need definitely a red zone threat. I mean, you're not going to keep throwing to Mike Hollis or every time.
Mac Hollins.
Mac Hollins every time. And then what about Baltimore?
Put some respect on the man's name, dude. Get it right.
Didn't he walk in with like he was in prison or something? He was all locked, like he had handcuffs on and stuff. Was that him?
He dressed ridiculous. He always does. He went barefoot this year, I thought.
I think Baltimore might be a decent spot too with Lamar.
So he's the one, Scotty, that wore my Buffalo jacket after he saw me wearing it at a game, and then he wore it to the game. Yes, that's him. Yeah, so, Addy, if you don't know that story, I wore a Buffalo. It's called a wild coat, and it looks like a furry Buffalo Bill like outfit. I wore that. You seen that? So I wore it
because I saw Mac Hollins wearing it.
See, there you go. Well, Mac Hollins saw me wearing it at the game in LA 2 weeks prior when he scored, when Khalil scored the touchdown. He was celebrating right there. He goes and points right at me, and I could see he's like, "Oh, I like that jacket." And then 2 weeks later, strolling in with the jacket. That's not a coincidence. Yeah, right. It's not a coincidence. And
that's
I don't know if you've ever been to LA,
that's causation,
right? Have you gone to LA Stadium yet? Have you been there for a game?
I haven't been there for a game. I've been around LA. I have a lukewarm relationship with LA.
Well, if you could look past your LA bias, you could come and check out the stadium one day. If you sit in the right section of that stadium, you can actually get down on the field behind the end zone for a full quarter. So it's really dope. Cool. It is. It's really dope. I found it by chance one year because I happened to buy tickets in the right sections where you go down the escalators to the bottom right there where all the concessions are. It's right at that spot. And there's only a certain amount of sections that can actually get to that area. It's like the 115s through like 130s or something like that. But that section right there, man, it's the place to go when you're at that stadium because you get the opportunity to do like we did. And you spend like 15 minutes in line. They let you in for a full quarter and they swoop 50 people in and out each quarter. And awesome. I mean, it's a blast, dude. It was a blast.
See, I'm only lukewarm because of Dodger Stadium. I obviously a Cubs fan from Chicago, and
me too. Actually, so go Cubbies.
Yeah, I've been hit by so much flying food at Dodger Stadium. I went to a bunch of the NLCS games about 8 years back. So, hey, I was repping my Cubs gear, and I was loud, and my buddy was significantly louder and drunker, but like the Dodgers fans, they don't hold back, man. They do not hold back one bit.
No, they talk about the Raiders fans and how horrible they were back in the day and this and that and stuff. The Dodgers fans have always been that way from the beginning, and it's never changed.
Constantly.
Like they're terrible to the away fans. It's and like you said, I can understand if that was your LA experience, why you have some qualms when it comes to the LA people, because it really is that way. But the Rams games don't seem to be as bad. At least fingers crossed, it doesn't seem to be the same.
I mean, SoFi Stadium seems so cool. I can't.
It really is. Yeah, I mean, I like them. Obviously, I'm partial to the Raiders Stadium because it's like literally a couple of miles away from where I'm sitting right now. But other than that, I think SoFi is probably one of the funner stadiums to attend. But yeah, Shadows is talking about the new logo, and I did see that. I don't know if you saw that on the Discord, Scotty, but there's the new logo out for the Super Bowl for next year, and the color scheme looks a lot like Dolphins and Bears colors. It's orange and teal with a little bit of wavy thing going on, and it's kind of, to me, it looks ridiculously ugly. But hey, it's not my choice to put. I don't really like orange and teal on anything, to be honest. I'm sorry, no, orange is one of your colors, but anything that looks towards that orange and teal Dolphin Miami thing going on, I'm just not a fan. So it's I don't know. I don't like it. But do you have any stock in the color theory, right? The conspiracy about the color logo and all that. Did you put any stock in that? Because they did have lime green in the logo this year, and then obviously the Seahawks were there, right? So you put any stock in this at all?
No, I don't put any stock in that at all. It's just another thing that people want to try to spin a narrative over about something stupid like that.
But what do you mean, Scotty? It's the National Fake You Out League, right?
It is the National Fake You Out League.
What do you think, Addy?
There's a conspiracy way back a long time ago. A guy at work told me, he said that the winner of the Super Bowl depends on who airs the Super Bowl. So if it's CBS that airs the Super Bowl, it would always be the AFC team that wins. And he was dead set on that happening. And if anyone else ran the Super Bowl, like back in the day, it was I think it was just either CBS or NBC. I don't think Fox was doing it, or ESPN or something was doing it. And if that team did it, it would be the NFC. So if CBS, it would be AFC. Anyone else, it would be NFC. And he was like dead set on that. So there's all kinds of stuff like that going around.
Now, did it actually work out that way? Did you go back and look and see?
And it was, I'd say he was probably right about 75% of the time. So it was pretty interesting. But you can't. That's not what's happening.
I mean, Addy, what do you think, man? You got no?
I want to say no, but the Bears will be in the Super Bowl next year. So I mean, why say no when I can say yes here? I'll be the dissenter. Yeah, they're on it. I think you may have gotten the color scheme wrong on the other side. That might have been more of a red and blue sort of color, like maybe a Buffalo Bills sort of color scheme.
Bears,
I'm not a big Quinn Ewers guy myself. I'm not a big Tua guy either. So, but you got the orange right.
So, it could be Jaguars too, right? They got a little bit of that teal going on, I guess. They could be
I'd
saying
take T-Law in the Super Bowl. Hell yeah.
Right? T-Law versus Caleb in the Super Bowl. Were they back-to-back one overalls, or it was a few years in between? Right?
Yeah, 2 years in between.
Where is the game next year? Is it in Miami?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Or New Orleans?
Ooh, he says the end of it looks like a Texas horn too. So Texans maybe.
Oh, I'm glad we all agree the Bears will be there.
Right. Let's talk a little bit since we haven't even talked about it yet.
I should have just asked Shadows. Shadows, where's the Super Bowl next year?
Oh, it's SoFi. Look at that. I love that. See, and that means I get to go to it if the Bills do. So it's an easy drive for me to go there if the Bills make it. I don't have to worry about any flights or anywhere to stay. I can sleep in the car, and I'll drive my butt down there in the morning and drive home the next morning. That would be one fun trip. You're going to meet me there too, right? When the Bears are there, it's going to be me and you.
Oh, without doubt. We can sit next to each other. I don't think you'll want to sit by me by halftime, but yeah, actually, I know Caleb Williams well. You'll want to sit by me for 3 quarters. The 4th quarter, you won't want to be there.
Hey, I wouldn't be concerned at all. I would be extremely excited if it came down to Caleb Williams versus Josh Allen in the Super Bowl. I feel like I would be ready to celebrate long before I actually needed to be ready to celebrate. But I would be extremely ecstatic. I'm telling you, tears are coming, man, if that day ever happens. Tears are coming. And I don't even care. I'll be that grown man who cries. I don't care. It's fine with me. It's worth it. It's a good reason to be balling. So let's talk Super Bowl. We didn't even recap this wonderfully exciting Super Bowl that we got to watch. Right? 29-13 final score. By the way, my prediction was 28-16. Just saying. But 29-13 final score. Seattle beat the Patriots. Scotty, man, what do you think about this game at all? Do you think that this just basically justified what everybody had to say that the Patriots shouldn't have been there? Their schedule was too weak, and now that they got to the game and got destroyed, it pretty much shows that they were all right.
Well, first and foremost, I did hit the line bet, and I hit the money line. So I did that, and I hit a $120 square, 3-0 in the first quarter. So I was very happy with about that.
Nobody asked you about how much money you won.
I don't care. You asked me, and I went. That's what I wanted to lead off.
He's
with.
flush. Let him hit his victory lap.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, because he hasn't had one for a while from his Lions.
Squares. Like I'm terrible at squares.
I've never won a
terrible
square.
numbers every year. I get like 2 and 5 and all these crappy numbers every year. I never win anything. And finally, I got some good numbers and hit it up. What up, Lilith? What up, Cyborg? And then guys, a shout out. But anyways, back to the game. Like I always said, defense wins championships. If you can run the ball and you can stop the run and play good defense, most likely you're going to win the games. It's not that I don't think the Patriots shouldn't have been there. I just think they just were totally unprepared. Drake May looked like a deer in headlights. He just was not ready for the big game. They could not protect him. And then they couldn't stop the run. I mean, they let Ken Walker pretty much run all over them. And Sam Darnold just did enough to win. He didn't turn the ball over. And like I said, they leaned on their defense. So, they were the better team all year. I'm not going to say that the Patriots played an awful schedule because they did go through some good teams in the playoff, good defenses in the playoffs. So I just think they weren't ready. And that goes a little bit on the coach, Vrabel, and it goes a little bit on Drake May. He just wasn't ready yet. I mean, he's a 22-year-old kid, playing in the biggest game of his life. So –
and I saw it on his face, man. When he was out there warming up in the pregame and stuff, you could see it in his eyes, man. He looked like
no. And Vrabel had to constantly get in his face and be like, "Dude, let's go, man. You're good. Let's go, man."
Yeah, like don't worry, dude. Breathe, man. Breathe. He's like,
So I just think the lights were just too big for him this time, but I don't think it's going to affect him down the road. And I expect the Patriots to be back in the playoffs next year. Now, whether or not they make back to the Super Bowl, I mean, it's hard to get back to the Super Bowl. So, I mean, we'll see what happens, but a lot of young, he could get in the, a lot of good quarterbacks go early, they get beat up and then they learn from it. And then they end up, getting back later. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And I think you're right. 100%. It was too big of a stage for him. And the kid stayed poised all the way till they got there. But the Super Bowl is a different animal, man. Like the way that the pregame works, all the build up to it, the whole like weeks ahead of time. It's not just like a normal, okay, another week of practice rolling like it is all the way up until you get there. When you get there, it's your entire pregame prep. Everything is totally different than what you're used to. And I don't think he was really prepared mentally because he wasn't able to kind of run through things the way he normally does. And I think the stage got to him. And he didn't come in there able to like really be prepared to compete properly. And it showed. It 100% showed. He missed a lot of plays and he just did not look like he was comfortable at any point in time.
Yeah, he missed some wide open. He definitely missed some wide open targets. I think it was the one where they're backed up on their goal line. I think it was Hunter Henry or it was Hooper that he missed wide open. I mean, he makes that catch. He runs for like
he almost didn't even get the touchdown because he made a horrible throw to Ramondre, who made a great catch to keep it off the ground. So he just had some really bad plays.
Yeah. See, but we got to see Will Campbell most of this year look like a premier left tackle.
Yeah, that's another one.
We saw one of the worst left tackle performances in Super Bowl history last night. Like I can't discount that whatsoever because you can say whatever you want about Drake May. To be honest, we still got to see him put together one of the better throws of the Super Bowl. That throw to Matt Collins was an absolute dime. High point in the ball. He always has the nicest spiral in the NFL. Like, fantastic throw. But when you're pressured 14 times from your left side, when you give up 14 pressures, what are you going to do? And like, I don't know. I'm a huge TreVeyon Henderson guy. I've been a TreVeyon Henderson guy my entire career. Like I think that guy is insane. I thought he was great at Ohio State. He is the least lucky man in NFL history. The second that he touches the ball, there are 3 Seahawks defenders within 10 feet of him just closing in and taking him down. Like, I want to see Ramondre lose that job a little bit just because Henderson can't get unlocked in the way that they're playing their offense.
No, I agree 100%. I mean, Travion Henderson should have been a little more involved in that offense, especially when they were getting behind. You got to go all in at that point, put the best players on the field, and you can't tell me that Ramondre Stevenson is more explosive than Travion Henderson. There's no freaking way.
Not a better big play threat, no matter what.
Yeah, and you needed a big play in that game because nothing was working at that point. But no, I agree with you, Addy, 100%. Will Campbell played awful that game. I don't know. He had, 2 or 3 penalties, and then he got just like bull rushed one play.
He got manhandled.
Yeah, he just got
literally manhandled the whole game.
It was awful.
It was terrible. And like you said with Ramondre, I'm totally with you on that. And we've talked about this before on the show that I have this opinion with Mike Vrabel because he's a former player that he gives the vet players way more playing time and way more love than he should as an actual coach. Because he looks at them like a former player would look at, oh, they remind me of myself when I was getting up there. And, so he's keeping Ramondre relevant in this offense purposely because of the fact that he's a vet that he really likes and he's like one of his boys. And I'm like, that is not how you're supposed to coach, dude. You do a lot of great things with your coaching, but that is like one of the things that I think he's done that is completely ridiculous. Unless they come out and say something like Travion had a really hard time understanding the playbook and they had a lot of really minimal amount of plays that he could actually get out there for, and something like that comes out, there's really no other excuse in my opinion that Ramondre should be taken any kind of plays away from Travion Henderson. A guy like Henderson, he needs the ramp up time in a game to kind of get himself ready to bust it open. He needs the carries to kind of get there. He's not the kind of guy who's just going to be able to come in there for 5 or 6 plays a game consistently and always break plays and always be that guy. He needs time to set people up and get prepared and then boom. And like most running backs do, it's pretty standard for a lot of guys.
No, and what makes the great coaches stand out from just the average coaches is the adjustment that they can make in-game adjustments. And Mike Vrabel did not do that. When it was 9-0, the game is getting away. I know it's only 9-0, but the game already was playing out where it was getting away. You were not scoring on the defense with the game plan that you brought out. So you need to bring on different personnel, run.
Well, he should have been given help to Will all game. After that, after the first half, he should have been literally chipping him every single play, chipping his player, whoever he was defending. He had a tight end over there to help block or slide protection to help him. Whatever he needed to do, he should have had help for every single passing play that he had to protect every single time. Because obviously,
who was the best blocking running back in that class this year? It was Travion Henderson, the best blocking back, and he barely saw the field.
Yeah, I remember that coming out. That was a big thing. He can jump in right away and play third down rolls, no problem, and this and that, and blah, blah, blah.
And we got to see it briefly this year. By the way, I'm going to do my call out for Shadow here. Miles Boykin.
Oh, yeah, let's pull it up. I was going to do that too. I'm glad you said that. So Toledo, 2015 to 2018, Steelers 19 to 23, Panthers 24, Ravens 24, Texans 24. So he went to 3 different teams in one season, 4 different teams. He went back to the Ravens in 24. As well, so he's in the Browns in 2025. It's not right. He said you are wrong.
No, it's Huntley. Is it Huntley?
I like it. I think it's Huntley. I think you're right. Miles Boykin went to Notre Dame. Dun dun dun. Oh, Chev goes with Deontay Johnson. That could be. He's a wide receiver. So
he's a wide receiver.
I think Chev's got it. Yeah, look at that. Chev got it again. Man, look at Chev, dude. Just in here dropping.
I should have seen the 4 teams in 2024 and known it was Deontay Johnson.
Right? Yeah, there's only been
a guy that goes a fall from grace was him, Deontay Johnson, man. He was like a PPR monster, and then he just fell off the planet.
Right? Oh, we got another one here. Let's pull it up because that way we can all get on it before Chev does. 99 to 02, Florida State. 03 to 09 from the Cardinals. Ravens was 2010 to 2012. Niners 13 to 15, and Lions 16, Bills 17. Is that Tavares Jackson?
Ooh, good
that
call.
Might be right. Yeah,
you might have that one.
We'll see.
We're all waiting patiently.
I know we're all like, ooh, like dead air in it, just like patiently waiting for Shadow to tell me whether.
Come on, help us out.
Oh,
No,
bro,
Anquan Bolden.
oh, yeah, Anquan Bold is what Chev said, and then Shadow said no, so I don't know. Oh, Chev did get it. It was Anquan Bolden. Man, I suck at this.
Chev's too
Hey, at
quick
least
for
I had a
this.
guess before Chev. At least I guessed before Chev got it right? And that's something to brag about.
Yeah, no doubt.
Man, but so we didn't even talk about Seattle though, right? And let's talk about a little Ken Walker action here. I mean, the man made himself some money for sure in that game, the way that he played. Now, do you think that Seattle makes a solid move to keep him after everything? Or do you think Seattle still? I thought before this game that Seattle was going to let him walk in the offseason because they had Sharps. Do you think that that's the case still now? Or do you think they were already planning on keeping him? Like, where were you at with him as far as staying in Seattle or going moving on somewhere else?
I mean, Sharps is badly injured. Like they needed a running back in there. They could draft one. They have affinity for drafting running back in the second and third and fourth round. So they definitely could have. But like we saw the best playoff efficiency of any running back all time charted by PFF in Ken Walker this year. Like if you let that guy walk, like that's like letting Sam Darnold leave the Vikings after a 14-3 season.
I mean, do you agree, Scott? You think that they're going to keep him around? I know how much you hate on your Michigan State Spartan.
I mean, it's not that I hate on him. It's just the landscape. The landscape of the NFL is these teams do not want to pay that kind of money to a running back. I mean, it's a short shelf life. Do they want to tie a guy up that long? Because these guys start declining at 27, 28 years old. So I think Walker's 24, 25. So, 25. I mean, if he signs like a 3-year deal and, they pay him, right around maybe a little less than market price and he takes a home down discount or something, maybe they'll keep him around, but I don't think they're forced to do it. But, these teams, they may just have to do it. I don't know what their cap space looks like. They should be a pretty young team. They should have a lot of money. I don't think they have a lot of contracts tied up into like.
Well, and they don't have a lot of money tied into Sam Darnold. Whether they give him an extension or not, now that this happened, we'll see how that plays out this offseason. But I know that their first contract with him, I think, was only like a 2-year, $40 million or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, if they give Ken Walker a nice, healthy 3-year contract, I think I think that would be enough to keep him around. I mean, if I'm Ken Walker, why do you really want to leave? I mean, you just came off a Super Bowl. Charbonnet, like Eddie said, is badly injured, but I think these guys don't want all the carries and be run into the ground. So even Charbonnet came back, they split a little bit, and he has a healthy career going forward. So. But
you got to think about everything else too. I mean, the family, moving your family around, all the other factors that come along with moving from one team to another. If you're getting a little bit less money to stay there and you don't have to go through all of that type of change and uproot everything, then that might be worth it for some people, especially coming off of a Super Bowl victory with a team that is young and potentially competitive moving forward for a few more years. There's a lot to be said about that.
Yeah, Charbonnet is not going to be back till halfway through the season. And everybody knows when you come off an ACL for the first year, you don't really make a full recovery till year 2. So next year is going to be, if he comes back in, let's say, November, early November, because he tore his ACL late. I mean, he's not going to be really ramped up till December. And so Ken Walker's going to have the backfield to himself for, the first couple months. And then, so yeah, I mean, if they give him, like I said, they give him a nice contract and don't try to be cheap on it, I don't see him leaving.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's going to be interesting to watch because, it's Love coming out, which Love, I don't think is going to be in their range this year. I think he'll go above anything that they're going to be looking at. So, the other prospects and things like that, I mean, they're not like, oh my gosh, there's plenty of depth. There's all this, no problems coming out of it. They're going to need to have somebody to man that backfield for at least the first half of the season, right? That, to give Sharps what he needs to really get at least on the field. So to me, I think you pay him and you move forward. The guy just proved his worth 100%. So you go and you pay him and you keep him on the team and you figure out what to do. Otherwise, maybe you lose like your receiver 3 or whatever position you have to kind of let walk because you paid him. And, you make up for that in the draft or you make up for that in free agency. And, you might have the depth on the team already for all you know. So
yeah, I mean, it would be nice if he could catch the ball a little bit. I mean, he's got terrible hands, and but he's a very patient runner. So I mean, he's and that's why they like Charbonnet. Charbonnet can catch the ball. He's a better receiver out of the backfield. But yeah, he made a lot of money, and he proved to it by getting in the playoffs. I think the stat they brought up was I think every playoff game he had 20 plus carries, so he can handle the rock for sure.
Look at him trying to call him back to Tennessee. Oh, I love it. Oh, look, Shadow's giving us another one. Look at this. UCF. I thought it said he was in the UFC. I was like, oh, wait, who came over from the UFC? UCF from 02 to 05, so Central Florida. Broncos 06, 09, Dolphins 10 and 11, Bears 12 through 14. So if you don't get this one, Addison, you're going to be excommunicated. Jets 15, 16, Giants 17, Seahawks 18, Saints 2019.
Brandon Marshall?
Did he say it was what position did he say?
No, it's not Dante Culpepper.
Chev's with the Dante Culpepper. I don't remember Dante getting drafted by the Broncos, though.
Well, the Vikings aren't in there, so it's not Dante.
Brandon Marshall. I'm fairly certain this is B.
Yeah, you got it. Look at there it is.
There it is. There it is.
He was just messing with
get your ball knowledge out of here, Chev.
He was just messing with you, making you wait. Oh, that's great. Look, now Chev tried to come in here with it was Brandon Marshall, so he could try to say he got it first.
God, do you guys even remember him being on the Saints at all? Did he?
No, not even a little. That was the one that threw me off. I was like, I remember all of those stops. I don't remember him playing for the Saints.
I don't remember the Saints at all.
I mean, did he even play for the Saints? He's the type of person that would have signed and then retired,
Yeah.
Like, he'd have been like, yeah, no, I decided after a couple practices that I don't really care to do this anymore.
Well, that just proves that Addi and Chev are way better at this game than we are, Sean. So
hey, I never claimed to be good at it, though. That's the thing. Like, this was your wheelhouse, Scotty, and you've been struggling over here. I think I've got more than you've gotten right at this point, and I don't know, man. We might have to pull your analyst card for our show and move that on over to somebody else. Addi, I mean, I don't know if you're interested, but we could be looking for
throw me under the bus.
Role.
Throw me under the bus already.
Hey, you got to start getting some right, buddy. I mean, we got to see some production out of you,
So Caleb Williams, we were talking about Caleb Williams earlier. So he went in Alpha Squad 4. He went at the 210.
Oh, I love it. Scott with the subject change. So good. All right, well, let's pull up that league that Scott's so excited to talk about. Look, says ask him 40-time questions. What is he talking about there, Addi? What does that mean?
Chev knows I'm a spreadsheet guy, first and foremost. Chev runs a very slow 40, so I think he's talking about how much faster I am than him on a football field. I could be wrong, though.
Notre Dame from 90 to 92, Rams 93 to 95, Steelers 96 to 05.
Who was the guy right before then?
Who was the dude with the mustache that was good for like one season?
About.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I can't think of his name right now.
The name's gone.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. Tommy something maybe, or I want to say Doyle, but that's not right. Here's a topic: the early mock draft predictions for 2026. Who goes where now? First round is settled. I mean, that's definitely going to be something to talk about. Shadows. We're actually going to have a mock draft episode at some point in the near future before the draft comes up. But I haven't even done any research on that. Addison did go to the Senior Bowl though, so he's got some insight on some of the good prospects coming out. Do you have anybody that you might think is being targeted by a team that's kind of off the radar right now? That's like a sneaky, like this team is kind of liking this guy and nobody's talking about it yet.
I haven't got any team reads necessarily. I know the Eagle scouts were out there at the Senior Bowl, so seems like they might be looking at the wide receivers out there. Also, I was about to say Jerome Bettis. You beat me to it, Chev. And yes, I have run a sub 4.
Well, blame that on me because I gave you that question, right?
No, you're all good. But I mean, there were a couple under the radar guys. Like Ted Hurst is the name you're going to hear a lot. Chev's a huge Ted Hurst fan. He should be. He's fantastic. Malachi Fields played pretty well out there. Tyron Montgomery, who is from the smallest of schools, had a fantastic Senior Bowl. A lot of players that look pretty good, but the one name I'd throw that's a real under the radar guy was Mike Washington. You guys saw my interview with him, but honestly, he played really great at the Senior Bowl, especially in his route running. 225, 6'1", like a running back like that isn't getting talked about, that has pass catching chops, is going to be somebody that I'm going to target in drafts. So
is he like a kind of like a Kamara comparison a little bit, or
bigger, way bigger? But
okay,
yeah. I mean, those are the type of players I love. I love a 3-down back. Me and Scott got that in common. I like a guy that can own the backfield.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You and Scott got the fact that you like guys in common. It's odd.
Yes, indeed.
We both like Mike Evans with the big burly voice.
The tattoos really get me. They bring out his eyes.
I thought that was the eyeliner. Oh wait, that's Caleb. I'm sorry.
And he works it.
So speaking of your boy Caleb, so the earliest he went 210 that so far, he's the first one that he went off the board in was this draft. So 210 is his first pick off the board. Do you like that spot? You think that's earlier or later than you anticipated with him?
I take Caleb Williams before Malik Neighbors every time. Malik Neighbors is still on crutches right now. We're going to find out more about that injury later, but Caleb had premier fantasy games this year. He was the QB6. He's going in this draft as 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. And this year he led the NFL in drops. Like, you add 300 yards to his passing game, he is still the only quarterback in the NFL with 5+ runs of 20-mile-per-hour runs this past season. So I can't be high enough on Caleb Williams. And my homerism is showing, but he has that upside. And when it comes down to it, like, you can say, hey, the Ben Johnson offense doesn't highlight that QB run. It's true, but he can do it. Like, Josh Allen's QB running style didn't get highlighted until it did.
I mean, it did, like, literally the first game
most of the time.
out. Like, I mean, he jumped over Anthony Barr in like his third quarter ever. So, like, but I get what you're saying, though. I know Caleb has the ability to do that. He just hasn't yet because he hasn't needed to, but he does have the option to do it. My thought is more they're just not going to plan it like they do for Josh. You know, he's not going to run in pretty much everything that's within the 3-yard line the way Josh does and so on. But that's I still think he is going right about where he should go. And like I was telling you, in my opinion, like right there at that third round range is where I kind of anticipated. So it's slightly earlier than I thought it would be, but it's not so early that I'm like it's egregious or anything. I think it's pretty solid right there, especially looking at the Sarah not having taken anybody yet for quarterback wise. And, you know, he's probably looking at that thinking that there's 4 picks between him and his next pick, and they're only one quarterback taken between the two teams. So there's a strong chance that more quarterbacks are going off the board, and he might not have him in the second or in the third round at 3-3. So I don't hate it at all at that point. I think if you like him, you get him. Scotty, you got anything to say about Caleb at all?
I mean, I like him in that spot right there. There's two. I think there's one. I like Justin Herbert a little bit better before him, and then another guy that I like that I think will have a pretty good year with the new coaching staff is I'm starting to grow very fond of Jackson Dart, especially with his rushing upside.
I do. I agree. I like Jackson Dart too. Those are the two guys that out of the next group that I probably would like. And then that's when I also start looking at Patrick after that point too, with those other two guys that you mentioned. Yeah, I still think Patrick's slightly behind Herbert, but I could be talked into maybe taking him over Jackson Dart only because of, you know, he's Patrick Mahomes and he's got Eric Bieniemy back, and he's done pretty well in that offense throughout his time. So I don't have any like qualms about it. I think he's the safer of the two, I guess would be the way to put it. So Yeah, man. I want to give you a chance here, Addison. Let's talk a little bit about your league champ, man. I want you to tell some of our viewers here about what you guys got going on over there, and we can kind of talk a little bit about some of the awesome things that we're going to come up here soon between the two of us.
Oh yeah. Well, one, excited to be working with you guys. Love the Sudden Death Fantasy crew. You guys have been awesome. Been fun being on this show too. This is my last meeting of an 8-hour meeting day. So if my energy level drops, I think it might be because it actually has dropped. But that being said, I'll be back at it tomorrow. But you guys want to hear about League Champ? I've been running League Champ for about a year and a half now. We have been a fantasy rankings platform. We put all of our data out to the public, and we are the premier place to help you get your start in the fantasy football space. Everyone's trying to get onto podcasts, trying to make connections in this space. And one of the biggest things that you can do to benefit your case is to show notoriety through proven methods. And we're giving that opportunity by throwing free rankings contests every single week of the year. We're coming out with some big stuff this year. We have a draft contest running, going to be going the whole off season. Then we're going to have a fantasy one as well, going in tandem with that. We're trying to get more into the prospect space. We know the Dynasty and Devy streets are real populated right now, and we want to support those communities. But that's really what we have going on. Other than that, we're going to be breaking into some other angles, and I'm really excited for that. But I'm sticking with the prospects. 2 Guys, 1 Pod. We're going to be putting out 2 prospect videos a day, and we got our first one in there with Chris Bell. We have another one coming out this afternoon, so looking forward to it. It's just going to be a real fun off season. Appreciate the platform, guys.
Oh, absolutely, man. We appreciate you too, man. And so you guys know, what they're offering out there for you guys. It's so helpful if you're getting into this industry. As far as just being a gamer, not so much like trying to like break in as anybody, actually working in the industry, just to understand your rankings and to get your stuff set up in a way that can kind of help you draft properly and get you ahead of the game. It's so useful. I would 100% recommend you guys go check out their site and get in there, get their app. It's League Champ. Go download it on your phone. It's really worth it, man. You can create your rankings. You can get everything you need set up the way you want to, and then you can write along with your drafts. And, even you can compare the rankings. You can even sync some of them, if I'm not mistaken. So there's a lot of things you guys can do with this. So I would definitely recommend you check it out if you haven't already. And if you haven't, please go subscribe to their channel as well. Like Addy said, they're doing a lot of great content over there, and Addison has some access to people and some things that he can ask some questions directly to prospects and give you guys some really good insight on these people, not just their on the field, but off the field personalities as well. So I would 100% sign up for that. If you guys haven't already, go subscribe to their channel and get on board. It's 100% worth it. I say that a lot because it is true. So Addison, man, I'm so excited too, man. The working together with you guys, getting some data points available to our audience and things. We're going to work on rankings together. We're going to work on ADP lists together. We got so much stuff that we're working on that is going to build everything that we're offering to you guys for our audience as well as theirs. And there's going to be some real synergistic things happening here between the two companies. I'm really excited about it. So and Shadows, our resident newsbreaker, is jumping in with Clint Kubiak signing a 4-year deal with the Raiders. Not that anybody didn't know it was coming, because he basically said it after the Super Bowl was over.
5-year deal.
A 5-year, I'm sorry, yes, 5-year deal. So that is basically it, man. That's the last official coach is in house. He knows exactly where we're at now. We don't know what's going to happen with his offensive coordinator or any of that yet, but that is done deal. We are stacked with our head coaches, 32 of them getting paychecks now. Do you think that Kubiak was the right hire for the Raiders? This will be our final topic here, and we'll let go with that one because it's a good one to kind of discuss. I like Kubiak. I'm not 100% sold that he's going to be a great head coach because he's just so young yet, but that's pretty much every offensive young guy nowadays. You don't really know until you know. So do you think that he's the right hire for a team that's in the Raiders position right now, being that they're pretty much like a start from scratch situation?
Well, everyone's looking for the next Ben Johnson, and I think this is a great hire for the Raiders. I mean, you tore it basically all the way down, and you're just going to rebuild it back up. So you have a stud tight end in Brock Bowers. You're going to obviously draft Heisman Trophy winner. You have Austin Janty. Not sure what's going to happen with Max Crosby. I know he wants out, or he said he wants out, but then they're saying he wants to stay. But
well, somebody else said he wants out, then he said he wanted to stay, but then I heard that wasn't true. I don't really know.
Yeah, regardless, they're doing it the right way. I think you just tear it down and bring it back up. You got a young offensive coach that I think is going to do really good. And look at the name Kubiak. I mean, how could you go wrong with the name Kubiak? I mean,
he's definitely got some good mentorship. All he's got to do is pick up the phone and call daddy, and he got somebody who could talk to him in there.
I mean, the Kubiaks have been well known for their zone run schemes. So Ashton Genty, wheels up.
Hey,
very much
love
so.
that. I mean, I'm in the same boat as you. Like, I think it's a good hire. He's so reliant on how Fernando Mendoza scales up in this league. Yeah. Like, if he comes out strong, we're going to see great things from Kubiak. If he comes out a little bit, that leash is going to get short real fast. So we've seen this before with offensive coordinators. We'll see if he plays to his strengths. Like, that's the biggest thing I'm looking for there. And sorry if I was on my phone a little bit there. Me and Chev were arguing about 40 times.
No, you're fine. You're totally fine, man. I want to see the actual outcome of this argument and the two of you running a 40.
Well, I mean, I asked him about what he's running today because I'm still playing some flag football, and he's like, "I'm running to the fridge and back, man." I'm like, "Well, I guess we are doing this now because I'm still running the same speed I was in high school."
I'll tell you what, if you guys run the 40, I'll come out like Fast and Furious style and walk out there in front of you guys and drop the Oh man, that would be fun to watch, man. Before we get out of here, Shadows is giving us an update on some of these dates, which is good. We could run through these real quick. Coming up for NFL dates, guys, we got February 17th through the March 3rd. That's when the franchise tag window is available for these teams. And then you got February 23rd through March 2nd is the Combine, which that's going to be a lot of fun to pay attention to if you're into the college guys. March 9th through 11th, free agency is the legal tampering window, which is probably one of the most ridiculous things that I've ever heard of. And then March 11th at 4 p.m. is the beginning of free agency, and that would be 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. West Coast time.
No doubt, man. Look at Shadows, man. I think we have a job opening for a producer, don't we, Sean?
Yeah, we do. And actually, a new analyst position has just opened up. So...
Oh God, shots fired, man. Jeez.
You try to give it my producer job? What do you expect? No, we love you, Shadows, man. Thank you so much for all of the great comments and awesome game that we play. That game that you do, man, is amazing. If you do that every week, I would be stoked. So we really appreciate you guys, the Lits. Thanks for stopping by. Chev as well. I really appreciate you being in the audience. I know that you had stuff going on, so the fact that you're here hanging out with us was really awesome, man. Cyborg, you too, buddy. We always appreciate you being here. And Shadows, again, man, I know that I'm shaking you twice, brother, but that's because you've pretty much been here hooking us up all show. So we really do thank you guys. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to our channel. Make sure you go check out Two Guys, One Pod. Like that channel as well. He just talked about a drop coming up soon that you guys are going to want to see. So make sure you check that out. For myself, Trader Clem, my co-host, Scott, run the hurry up, and Addi from League Champ, the Duck League champion over here. Thank you so much, everybody. You guys have a great night out there. We are out of here.